Nice to see you.
I drove on your road the other day because you come from Rabier.
Your road.
Yes.
Rabier to here, and you go through
Beit Misk.
Yeah, Beit Misk. What's it called?
Beit Misk.
Beit Misk. And I went on that shortcut for the first time this week, and it's a nice road. You've got a beautiful view.
It is, yes.
But you do have that scary sort of climb before you get.
And swivels.
Yeah, that's really scary.
True, Gavin, especially in winter. So now you know.
Yeah. So Sally is from Sally's Diet Right. You can find Sally on Facebook. It's Sally's Diet Right, spelt R-I-T-E on Facebook, or sallysdietright.com. If we go to your website, what can we see there?
You can see the services I offer, Gavin, about me, and then of course some nice tips and misconceptions that we have, you know.
Ooh, that's interesting.
Yeah, that's really interesting. Mm-hmm. Like some misconceptions that you have in your mind
about food,
about when to eat, about losing weight. And I have some very nice tools, the waist circumference, how many calories you can have to maintain your weight, your BMI, and a height calculator for kids, so you can predict how tall your child will be when he's an adult.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it is.
Our WhatsApp number is 03-887-000. What would you like to ask Sally this morning?
So we have a question about someone who just gave birth. I gave birth a year ago, not just actually, a year ago, with a C-section, and I'm still having problems with losing my tummy. It's as if it's bloated, although I exercise. So what shall I do?
Olga, you know, normally when we get pregnant, it takes 9 months to pile on the weight.
Yeah.
And you need 9 months to get rid of that weight and go back to your pre-growth.
Don't let the supermodels fool you.
Exactly. So you cannot go back in a month or two. You need to give your body time to, adapt and just lose that extra weight. However, coming back to this question, we need to differentiate between the bloating and the belly fat. So it's two different approaches. If it's belly fat, we always know that it's good that she's exercising. The lady's exercising, which is great, but she also needs to take care of her diet. It needs to be low in fat and then rich in fiber. So it has to be full of vegetables as well as whole grains. Both of these foods are associated with less belly fat.
Okay.
So it's important to incorporate them in the diet. And she has to avoid junk food, sweets, alcohol.
The fun stuff.
Yes, the fun stuff. So this is belly fat.
Yeah.
But if it's bloating, then she has to know if there's a food that causes the bloating and avoid it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Some people are more sensitive to things than others.
Yeah, such as, cabbage, broccoli, cauliflower.
Or milk if you're lactose intolerant.
Lactose intolerant. Just check for intolerances for sure. And just be relaxed while eating, stress-free. Have some herbal drinks after your food, and then you will feel much better.
They do say that being stressed actually gives you a bloated stomach.
True, Gavin.
Maybe the baby is stressing her out.
Yeah.
Maybe. So if you have a question this morning, 03-887-000.
We have a question about cactus fruit. Somebody's saying what is the nutrition of cactus fruit?
Is that prickly pear?
Yeah. It's
Yes,
those sabir.
Sabir in Arabic.
Yeah.
True. And it's the season now. Olga, it's very low in calories. 1 cup of chopped cactus fruit is 60 calories only. And it's very rich in fiber. So it's
really
great
yummy
for your
too.
digestion.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is yummy. It's great for your digestion. And because it's very rich in fiber, it helps lower cholesterol levels. So it's a really great food. And it's very rich in vitamin C, which we all know helps strengthen your defenses.
Yeah, sure.
And magnesium. Magnesium is very important for normal muscle and nerve function. And that's why if you have cramps.
Yeah. The other day I had a cramp. My mom was saying it's maybe magnesium deficiency.
Yeah,
Wow.
true.
Yeah.
So prickly pear to stop cramp, and magnesium is good for men as well, isn't it?
Yes, it is. It actually goes in very important functions in the body, not only like nerve and muscle, but it's also important for your bone formation. So it's really, really a very important mineral. And so cactus fruit
So yes for cactus fruit. 2 thumbs up.
We'll have more questions on the way this morning. 03-887-000. What would you like to ask Sally from Sally's Diet Right this morning? And it's Radio 1. Sally Sawaya from Sally's Diet Right is here. If you'd like to get in touch with her, sallysdietright.com or Sally's Diet Right on Facebook, the right spelled R-I-T-E. So thanks for your messages this morning.
So someone says, good morning. How long before extreme exercising should we eat? Because if I eat within 2 hours hours before sports, I feel like I want to throw up. And before 2 hours, I get too hungry and lightheaded. What's the recommendation?
Oh, wow. It's a great question, Olga. You know, because when you eat a heavy meal just before exercise, you feel you cannot perform at all.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
you will have indigestion, bloating, you know.
I feel like you're going to vomit.
Isn't the blood all going to the digestion process?
Yeah, true, Gavin. And that's how you feel lightheaded, tired. I mean, you cannot really perform. So the recommendation is to have lunch 4 hours before your exercise. And it should be a light lunch. You know, like a plate of pasta, some baked potato, or a whole grain sandwich. However, this may not be enough to fuel your exercise. And that's why just before 2 hours from exercising, you should have a very light snack. Like an easily digestible carbohydrate, like a muesli bar, some fruits, fresh or dried fruits.
So you've had your main meal, and this is just like a boost right before the exercise.
And just right before, like 2 hours before exercise.
So not right
or
before.
Else you will
2 hours.
Yeah,
okay.
2 hours you can have your snack bar or your piece of fruit. And then if it's really, really heavy exercise, if it's exceeding 60 minutes of heavy exercise, then you need to have a sports drink so that you can replenish the glucose.
During the exercise?
During the exercise and mineral. The sports drink, if you exceed 60 minutes and if you're really an athlete.
Which, I mean, this person says extreme exercising, so it seems like it might.
So, yeah, true. And that's why she feels dizzy if she doesn't have anything during the exercise. And that's why I'm recommending a sports drink, especially if she exceeds the 60-minute mark.
Because you're sweating as well, so it's not just water.
True. It's the minerals that you lose in sweat.
I've got a good question here on our WhatsApp system. I've been trying to lose weight, but it's been impossible. What kind of shock can I do to my body? What shock can this person do to lose weight?
Okay, Gavin, sometimes we need to shock our body to start burning again, because going on a diet will lower your metabolism. So we either go a little bit lower in calories and distribute the meals differently, or we try to give a different diet. That's what I usually do, because normally I give a balanced diet and then just for 2 weeks I shock the body by giving extra proteins and lowering a bit the carbs and distributing the meals differently. So if you're used to having like breakfast every day, skimmed milk and cereals, then I give you 3 rice cakes with labneh or a protein bread, high protein bread.
I'd be in a foul mood if I had to wake up to rice cakes.
I love rice cakes.
They're horrible.
Then some oat bread with some
that's
fat
nice.
cheese.
Yeah, I like oat bread. Okay.
So just you need to distribute them differently. Or just the lunch, if you're always used to having stews, then you can have like kafta and some baked potatoes or chicken, and just change a bit from what you eat. So that's the way you do it. Drink lots of water and exercise. Exercise makes a difference. So if you're used to running every day or jogging, just do some extra strength training to build your muscle.
This is what Patrick was always saying. He recommends that even girls should be weight training and using weights.
Yes, light weights. We're not saying we're going to do the heavy weights.
But not those little pink ones that don't weigh anything. They're ridiculous.
3 kilos. 3 to 4.
So what else do we have?
Somebody says, a question for Sally, what to eat late night after exercising? So if you've exercised in the evening and you want to eat afterwards, you don't want to undo all that work.
Yes, true. Normally we recommend to have a piece of fruit within 15 minutes after your exercise, then have a mix of carbs and proteins. Your body needs carbohydrates, your muscles needs carbohydrates to replenish the glycogen in them, so then you will be able to train the next day. So you can have like a cheese sandwich, a turkey sandwich, or a tuna sandwich and whole grain bread with lots of vegetables, or simply a glass of skimmed milk with some cereals. So you can have always a mix of these carbohydrates and proteins in order to be able to perform the next day.
Okay. And someone else has a sweet tooth. How can I stop eating sweets? I need something to help me do so. Is there any healthy substitute?
Oh, yes, there is. Anyway, you know, Olga, from when we are born, we prefer sweet tastes.
Really?
So it's something, I guess it's innate. We crave sweets. The problem is that you have to wean yourself little by little, reduce
slowly,
the sweets slowly,
train yourself not to.
And some people actually go cold turkey, and then the craving will go. So some people just stop eating sugar for like 2-3 days. It's a bit hard, and then they train their taste buds to prefer something else.
At some point, I did that, but it was like slowly. It wasn't cold turkey.
Yeah.
I sort of just started eating less and less sugar, and then you crave it less.
So it depends on the person.
Yeah.
But it starts right from the supermarket. Just don't buy that stuff, and then it's not in the fridge when you're craving
True,
it.
Gavin.
But buy other things like those salt-free nuts and things to keep in the fridge.
Yes.
So that when you're feeling like you need some chocolate, you'll have something there. It's not quite
No,
quite
but like
chocolate.
almonds are amazing. Like for
Yeah.
example, if I have an almond, it's almost like having a chocolate bar. They're really, really
Well,
good.
you're eating something, but it's
Yeah.
not quite what you want. At least you feel a little bit better.
yeah.
Almonds, fruits, dried fruits, fresh fruits, and you can have, you can combine your healthy food with your craved food. For example,
Yeah.
if you like almonds, you can just put a little bit of chocolate sauce on
Yes.
them, or a banana.
One more question this morning.
Okay, somebody says, I have to ask because I don't really understand how this works. I've gained 6 kilos lately, sad face, and everyone is telling me, everyone that sees me is telling me that it's obvious that it's water weight or mai,
Water
as they
retention.
say, and not fat in my body. So what does that mean? This person is confused.
Okay, you cannot tell by looking at a person if the weight gained is water or fat. So we can do it at the clinic. We have a machine that can measure how much water you have in your body, how much fat, how much muscle, and this is the way we can indicate that the extra kilos, where
But
are
does
they
it
coming
show?
from? It doesn't show. It will never show, Olga. Sometimes if you pinch yourself and it goes back directly up, it springs up, it means you have water retention, but doesn't mean that all the 6 kilos are water.
Yeah.
So you need to check that out at the dietitian's office, and just be careful. If you're really doing water retention, you should drink a lot of water to get rid of the excess water in your body.
Is it the build-up of salt or something?
Yes, not only water, it's the salt. So if you eat lots of salty food, you retain water. Just make sure it's not only the table salt that you add or the salt shaker that you use. It can be from the salty food, like
Yeah,
cat
so much
foods,
food is-
nuts,
yeah.
chips. All these foods are very rich in salt.
Soy sauce, of course.
Yes, true.
Yeah.
So just reduce that to a minimum.
Well, thank you, Sally.
Thanks, Sally.
Welcome.
Sally Sawaya from Sally's Diet Right. Check her out on Facebook, Sally's Diet Right, or sallysdietright.com. Thank you for coming in this morning.
Welcome.